Good morning and welcome to Peace Out, where we are all still learning together to peace out. Y'all, I went back and looked through the videos. Facebook doesn't save them anymore, so they're going to be going away in July. So I went back and got the first time we ever did Peace Out. I didn't even call it Peace Out. I wasn't sure what I was going to call it. I started to call it Second Cup. 'Cause that was really actually a radio program that I got to participate in sometimes when I lived in Louisiana. We call it Second Cup. I think that's a cool thing to call it, right? A morning devotion, because you've already had your one cup of coffee. Now it's time for a second cup. Let's just sit down and talk about God, talk about Jesus, right? That's a good title, but that I toyed with that, and then I settled on Peace Out because that's what we were talking about. We're in the middle of a pandemic, but I found the first one, which came out March 23rd. And then I didn't do another one until April. And then I started the everyday thing about April 7th. So, but the very first, we got to figure this thing out. God didn't take anything back because crazy things happened in the world. Video was March 23rd. So we are coming up in the next 10 days or so, 10, 15 days or so. We're coming up on the 5-year anniversary of Peace Out when we started. Let me know if you like it. We can stop anytime. But about the time I think maybe it's time to stop. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe nobody cares. Something else happened and I just kind of can't. So right now we just keep going now I wake up in the morning, God says, okay, that's enough. Stop. I'm going to stop. That's just the way it's going to work. Right. But until then, we just keep meeting every morning and going, you know what? God is faithful, which is what we're going to talk about today. He is faithful. I've got a lot of things on my mind. My brain is going all over the place. I'm working on several projects and I've read, I don't even know what all I read this morning, and just different things, just looking for different things. And I've got a couple of different thoughts, but I settled on this morning, that God is faithful. Before I get too far, Peace Out is the book of the week. It's probably going to be the book of the month because this is our devotional versary, right? Is in March 23rd is our devotional versary, where we sat down and just said, you know what? There's a lot of crazy stuff going on. And you know what? There's still a lot of crazy stuff going on. I don't know about your life, but I got some crazy stuff going on, right? And I want to don't even talk about the world perspective and the crazy things going on in the state and the city and our nation and the world. People have just lost their minds. It feels like, right? And then on top of that, we just have personal stuff going on every single day. There's not a button to stop it. Wouldn't it be nice if there was a button? There's not a button to stop it, but we're still looking for that peace out button, right? Where we can just go peace out. So I was thinking, what I was actually thinking and praying about this morning is I've been reflecting on the videos. I pulled down about a week's worth. They're going to go away here in a little bit. I'm not going to go back and try to save all those videos. The last 2 or 3 years I've been reposting them on YouTube and TikTok. TikTok goes away, but they're on YouTube. And, so I've got a lot of them on there, but I'm not going to go back and try to save them, but I am going to do something with that first one, at least, and maybe the second one. But when I went back and looked at them, and watched them, I was like, man, that was a crazy season. Have you ever just had a crazy season? I think every season is crazy because we never know quite exactly what to expect, because it's different than what we just experienced. Every day is different. There's always something going on. But as I looked back, I had forgotten about so many of the different things and the emotions that we were feeling and what in the world is going on type thoughts, and all of that is pretty well gone now. We don't have this dread hanging over us, like, okay, we know we're going to trust God and we know we can peace out, but this is weird, right? We don't have all that impending doom hanging over us and things like that now. I hope we don't, right? And so as I looked back at some of those first videos, and I thought, man, God has been faithful over this last 5 years. Now, he was faithful before the 5 years, and he's going to be faithful after this 5 years. But just looking at just this 5-year period that we've been doing this devotion since the world went crazy in 2020, right? And how things changed and the processes we've gone through and how things are different and how they're the same. And it's just like, Wow. I do like one thing that has come out of it. I get my groceries delivered all the time. I like that. We don't have to go shop. I don't like to shop. I just don't like to shop. I just want y'all to know that. Anyway, but I just thought back and I thought, you know what? God is still just faithful, right? And so I landed in Psalm 36. Now I read several different ones, and First John says God is faithful. Exodus says God is faithful. There's just so many scriptures that just talks about the faithfulness of God. And Hudson Taylor, one of my favorites, I'm actually a revivalist at heart, and I've studied I've not been a real serious student of the revivals, but I've definitely casually studied almost all the revivals and at least read about them. At least I'm familiar with them. And Hudson Taylor is one of the early teachers I really like. And he said, when we feel faithless, it's okay because God is faithful. He's full of faith for us when we don't have it. If you think he gave us that first measure of faith, right? Everybody has a measure of faith, enough to get saved on, at least enough to turn to God, at least. God set us up to succeed. He never sets us up to fail. He never sent anybody into battle and said, okay, go lose, and then we'll work through the rest. No, he said, go take this or go take that. And he never sent anybody into battle to lose. He set them up to succeed. And he gave us enough faith to come to him. We can't fail, right? And then we read the word, and we understand the word, we begin to apply the word, and we get in that relationship with God. And then that faith grows as we water it with the word and fertilize it with prayer, right? And sliding on our knees to God, sometimes going, okay, God, I don't even know what's going on. And he's got us. He is faithful. I love that about God. So I ended up in Psalm 36. I want to look at some more scriptures. We're going to find some more for the rest of the week about just God's faithfulness. But the psalmist in Psalm 36, he starts out talking about the wicked. There's no fear of God. Before their eyes, he flatters himself in his own eyes. Was this written in 2025? I don't know, 2024 maybe? He flatters himself in his own eyes. Boy, I'm not going to go off on that, right? When he finds out his iniquity and when he hates, the words of his mouth are wickedness and deceit. He has ceased to be wise and to do good. He's talking about the wicked. But then he says this. Listen to this. So he starts out like that. Was this David? This is David. Okay. He's like, the wicked are really wicked. That's why they're called the wicked, right? But in verse 5, he says, your mercy, O Lord, is to the heavens, beyond the heavens. Your faithfulness reaches to the clouds. And we've sang this, if you know, who's the group? I don't remember. I'll think of them in a minute, right? That they've sang this a lot. Your faithfulness reaches to the clouds. Your righteousness is like the great mountain. I want to sing it, mighty mountains, right? Your judgments are great deep. O Lord, you preserve man and beast. How precious is your loving kindness or your everlasting mercies, O God. Therefore, the children of men must put their trust under the shadow of your wings. We can trust God because he's faithful. We didn't get up this morning and go, God, are you on today, or is this your day off? Do you still have grace today? Was the mercy still new this morning? I don't know, because this is a Tuesday, and sometimes your Tuesdays are, I don't know. No, we can trust that God is going to be the same every moment. If we wake up in the middle of the night, God is still the same. If we go through the worst crisis of our life, God is still the same. If we have the best day of our life, right? It's still the same. Now, I love that song by Cain that says, on my best days, I'm a child of God. On my worst days, I'm still a child of God. On my best days, God is faithful. On my worst days, God is faithful. He did not put us in time like he's playing some big slot machine just to see how it's going to turn out, see if he can win. He planned on winning. And that starts with us coming to him. Just like he taught David, this whole pattern here, he's going, the wicked are really bad. We can look at the world and go, it's really bad out there. It's the worst it's ever been, as far as we can tell, right? And we know that Jesus told us that it would be like the days of Noah before he would come back, before the great day of the Lord, right? In Matthew 24. And we look at, he says, be like the days of Noah. Well, what he said about the days of Noah is their hearts were set on doing evil. Do we see that? People's hearts set on being evil? Well, let me just put a little thought in there. If people's hearts can be set on doing evil, they can also be set on doing good. We can set our hearts to serve God, just like those who say, I don't want to serve God, have that choice. We can say, I want to serve you with everything I've got. I want every ounce of my being, God, to be seated in your hand, and all of my thoughts geared toward you, all of my intentions geared toward the kingdom of God. We have that. We can set our own intention. We don't have to be like those who don't want to trust in God. As I say, some trust in chariots, some trust in horses, but we will trust in the name of the Lord our God, right? We aren't going to trust in our own, the things we make in this battle. We're going to trust God. And who is God again? He's that God whose mercy reaches to the heavens, where his faithfulness reaches beyond the clouds. There's no end to his faithfulness. There's no end to his mercy. His righteousness has got us covered. And it's enough for today too, right? So we've got his mercy, his faithfulness, and his righteousness just wrapping us up right now. No matter what we're facing, no matter what we're going through, no matter how hard it is, how easy it is, how difficult it is, how crazy it is, how complex it is, how simple it is, God didn't say, there's no exclusionary statements. He's got us covered today, and he is faithful to walk through time with us. I love that about God. He could have just left us here and gone, let's just see how this turns out. This is going to be fun to watch, right? Although I do think he had some fun, and I'm going to talk about that later. I'm working on a study on that. But anyway, he's like, he didn't just throw us out here in time and go, well, let's see how it turns out. No, he had a plan. And part of that plan was to walk through time with you today, March 11th, 2025. He planned this day to be part of your life. Now, all we have to do is invite him and go, come on, God, this is going to be good. Come on, let's have a good day. I'm going to follow you. I'm going to trust your faithfulness. I'm going to trust I have your mercies for today. I'm going to trust that your grace is sufficient today. It didn't run out yesterday. And there's nothing that says it's ever going to run out. And your faithfulness doesn't, your mercies don't, and your righteousness won't expire. I'm still righteous through the blood of Christ. That's awesome. We can just sit and rejoice in that he does. He's not going to pour his wrath out on us because he satisfied that. We have peace with God. That's enough to make me rejoice all day long. That's why I can peace out. That's why you can peace out too. So peace out, trust his faithfulness, trust his righteousness, trust his mercies for one more day, and I'll see you again tomorrow.